I call this meeting to order at 6 p.m. Jodine, has attendance been taken?
Yes.
Thank you. We will now move into a vote for closed session to discuss real estate. I suggest that the board meet in closed session under Section 8(1)D of the Open Meetings Act for the discussion of real estate. Do I have a motion to move into closed session?
So moved. Second.
Now, Jodine will take a roll call vote.
Trustee Kimball?
Yes.
Trustee Hadley?
Yes.
Trustee Kleinman?
Yes.
Trustee Solomon?
Yes.
Trustee Silva?
Yes.
Trustee Trudeau?
Yes.
We will now reconvene at 7 p.m. Thank you. We can now reconvene for our regular meeting. Jodine, has attendance been taken?
Yes.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 All those opposed? That passes. We will now move on to the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 All those opposed? Our consent agenda passes. Now, moving on to public comments. Public comment is an opportunity for members of the public to speak before the board. Topics must be related to Ann Arbor District Library Board of Trustees or matters within their authority. To speak during the allotted time on the agenda for public comment, please fill out a public comment form with the executive assistant before the allotted time. Participants may only speak once per meeting, and each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. You can also reach the board by emailing boardcomments@aadl.org. The AADL public comment policy can be found at aadl.org/public comment. Jodine, are there any public comments? I have an idea.
Yes, there are. All right, first up is Susan.
Hi, my name's Susan Bond. I love the summer game, and I have a suggestion that, you get a completion badge for all the different categories, but what about a completion badge for getting all of the badges? Just saying. And I also love all the inclusion and stuff that you're doing with bringing Native American tribes into the library, all the stuff. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next is Grace.
Hello, my name is Ms. Grace Krieger. I have been playing the summer game ever since 2018 when I did the badge of Quaker Oats Makes a Movie, a scrumdiddlyumptious adventure. Since then, I have been going around to different branches and getting codes until the pandemic hit in 2020. I picked back on my badges last year, and this year I finally got to attend the Summer Games Spectacular. I love seeing the acrobats doing the cool tricks on the silks, the trapeze, etc. It was really fun. One event I also enjoyed doing was the Tiny Film Festival. I attended that last year, and this year I decided to enter a movie in it with the fish from the AADL. I do have some suggestions for some badges, like related to my fandom, like a Toy Story badge, a Pokemon Catch 'em All badge, even like a badge of the band Oingo Boingo, and a badge series of Tim Burton films like Beetlejuice, Corpse Bride, and Nightmare Before Christmas. I think there should also be a badge of the series Cops called Bad Boys, Bad Boys. I would like to thank Susan Bond for looking for codes with me, and a thank you to Eli, because without him, we wouldn't even have the summer game.
This is true.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Cynthia.
Hi, Board. How are you?
Hello.
I wanted to say thank you so much for the Summer Games. This is actually my first year starting it because I work just down the street. It's been a great way for my husband and I to bond and have fun together, because he actually looks for codes for me and takes me all where we need to go. Just a thought, if there's any way you guys could maybe make an app for entering it, or like QR codes, to make it a little bit easier for us to grab them on the fly, instead of having to stop and quickly take a picture or text. So thank you so much for doing the games. You guys are doing an amazing job, especially, I can't imagine the amount of work that goes into setting it up, coming up with all the clues, putting everything into the catalog. So your staff must be commended for all the work they do. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom?
Hello, board.
Hello.
My name is Tom Brown. Some of you know my daughter, Lat Brown. She's a librarian here. She wanted to be here tonight, but she thought it might be a conflict of interest, so she said, no, don't attend. We've been playing the summer game since its inception, way, way long ago, even back when the Loving Library was still our main branch, I think. Love the shirts, right? We love the shirts, and we love getting out and about, doing all the summer game stuff. And one of the things that really got me going into it, there was a free meal at Chipotle one year. And I've never been at Chipotle. I said, oh, I don't know, I'll give it a try. And I loved it, right? And I've been there hundreds of times since. So thanks for the Chipotle there. And I'm getting one of these for my daughter. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mandy?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, sorry. Pull up my comment. Okay. 3 questions, a haiku. Why do I comment? For library love or points? Why can't both be true?
That's it.
Hello. I'm also mostly here for points and pins, because that's awesome. But a couple comments. Thank you so much for opening up the branches for early voting. That made it quick and seamless for my husband and I to vote yesterday. Got some library business done, including returning books I had checked out and rechecked out and rechecked out for over a year, which I even emailed the staff and I said, look, I cannot find this book. And they said, we'll just take it off your account. No big deal. It'll show up. Sure enough, it showed up, and I did return it. But that was really sweet of them to just take it off my account. And the other thing is, we've been to a couple of events at Pittsfield especially, where I believe you guys are a victim of your own success a little bit. It is so crowded, and the parking lot is not very big, and you end up parking at the Ice Cube. And I noticed on the events page, it looks like there's some events where they're doing 2 sessions of popular events at Pittsfield, and I think that's a great addition. As many more of you that you could do of that, especially at that branch, would be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Alex?
Hi. Big fan of the AADL and the summer game. I love Akakojishins. Fantastic mascot. Really big fan. Really great that they're the plushie this year, and I love them very much. But I would like to reiterate my suggestion from last year, which was that I think SG Capybara Pants would be a big hit. Just putting that out there. Also, big shout out to whoever came up with the Game Changer badge. It was a really great intersection of niche interests for me, ADL and Game Changer. Great. That's kind of all. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Also, thanks for the pins this year. This is great. I loved it. Okay, thank you.
Cecilia?
So, first of all, I would like to thank you guys, not so much for the summer game, but for something else you provide me with, which is the sewing machines. The sewing machine, I I know that this is not the only library in the world that has sewing machines, but the sewing machines have been like a huge part of my life. Not anymore. Now I have my own sewing machine, but for like 2 years, I checked out AADL sewing machines like all the time. Take them back, put myself back on the list. And on March 12th, 2020, whatever day it was the library closed, I got to get a sewing machine out, one of the NQMs that you guys don't circulate anymore. And I understand why now that I know how much those NQMs cost. And like 2 of them never came back. But so thank you so much for that, because I can sew my own clothes because of the library. Also, I mean, I make everything I wear except my pants. So with the codes in front of people's houses, could you please encourage people very, very strongly to make sure you can read them if you're driving by in a car? Because this has been a problem that my 8-year-old niece has been having. She'll be driving down the road, she's like, I can't see it. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a great dress.
Joy?
Good evening.
Hello.
Thank you. As you hear from many people, thank you for the summer game. Thank you for everything you do all year. Thank you for giving us an opportunity to share our love of Legos. I'm really excited for next week. And lastly, thank you for the vendor events. To have the Print Festival and the Comic Artist Alley and the Fiber Expo, it's just so cool to see so many creations in one place. I don't think I would like run across them organically, so I love having those. Thank you for them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Isla?
I like that the people that work here help us and tell us some answers.
Thank you.
I healed my remember my time.
I love the library a lot, and most of the time I come here is to spend most of my free time by relaxing in one of the chairs. And I think that you could like expand like your area to sit down, because like if you get a book and you don't want, and like you already have like a lot of books that you check down, maybe they would like to like sit down somewhere to read it.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
They take a pen.
Oh yeah, you guys can each get a pen.
Okay, hold on.
Mary?
Hi, my name's Mary Johnson. I come from out of town to go to this library. Don't tell Marshall that I'm here. I like to go to actually to a lot of libraries, but I think Ann Arbor is special because of the programming. And I do love the summer games, but all year round, the programming is fantastic. If you're bored or you want to try something new, or you want to hear a speaker, it's all here. I drag my relatives here. My sister from Pittsburgh came and did that, roll up the ribbon and make a, whatever that's called. Yeah, she did that too. When people come to visit me, I drag them here. But we have a great time. So I like the arts and crafts. I tried the sewing. I like the lectures. Recently, there was a lecture, Art in the Afternoon, and she presented a painting that I had just seen at the Detroit Institute of Art. So afterwards, I stayed and talked to her about it. The author events, the musical events, the comedy, the magician, and the famous trivia, and we had like line dancing or club dancing. I mean, whatever you think it's going to be at the library. And I just appreciate having the variety and having the programming all year round. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sam?
Hello, I'm Sam. I've been coming like everybody else. I like the summer games. That's largely why I'm here, but there are a couple of things that I might as well say since I'm here. I've wondered often if there are more language events at the library. There's all kinds of different events, community events. I don't know if there's just not a lot of interest. I know there is a small section, but I've come a number of times looking for like children's books in other languages to help me as an adult learn other languages, and they're not grouped in a way that I can easily find what I'm looking for. Like there's a whole section, but it's not like you can find, like if there's 2 books in Kiswahili, it's very hard to find them because you have to do it by the author's name. So you have to look that up. So, and I haven't seen a lot of events for languages, which would seem like a natural thing. So I don't know if there's much of a push for that, but one more vote if there is. And yeah, I like all the events. I am with a community dance group who did once do a dance event in the basement, but has since tried to get a hold of people to be able to do other events and use the basement space, and hasn't really gotten a response, so maybe we're not trying to contact the right people, but I don't know, that's what I have to say. Thank you very much. You put in a lot of work. I'm not trying to be like down on it or anything, but thank you very much. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Julie?
Hello. The summer game is so awesome that when my sister Crystal came to visit last summer, she works for the St. Louis Public Library, she took as many materials about the summer game back to the St. Louis Public Library, and they're trying to replicate their own summer game. So I just wanted to share that. Also, I really like the idea of a badge series that goes through the decades of Ann Arbor with the local history and the pictures and stuff. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Baron?
Hello. I'm not here to really talk about the summer games. I had a note about programming after 5 o'clock. I've noticed there's like a lack of programming after 5 o'clock a lot of, like for the weekdays, and I would like more programming after 5 o'clock. Some of my favorite programming events have been like the after hours concerts with the Pontiac Trailblazers, and then when Judge John Hodgman came after 8 o'clock. Those were really great events because like I felt like you had time in the day to go to the event instead of like you get home and then you have to like decide whether you have enough time to go to the event or not. And also my secondary point is if we're looking for like adult volunteers who work 9 to 5, they can't during 9 to 5. So after 5 events, if we could increase the amount of them. I know there might be like programming like issues and like logistics involved that might make that more difficult, but I just thought that would be a good thing to keep on the radar, is to increase the amount of events in the weekday after 5, maybe around 6:30 to 7, that time frame. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think there's one more.
Any more public comments?
Thank you.
I think I'm the last person or whatever. Hi, I'm Olivia. There's a lot of things people have been talking about the summer games. I also love the summer games. I have been existing, my family and I have existed here since the 2000s, and so I used to love the East Branch off of Plymouth. That used to be my favorite little haven when I was in middle school. I've always loved this library. I went away, came back. Summer game is bigger than ever. It's super cool. Yeah, y'all are doing a lot of cool things. We were able to get some games out that we had for our guests at our wedding a few years ago. That was really cool. So yeah, keep up the good work. Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, everyone. That's always very fun for us. We will now move into communications from trustees. All trustees will have the opportunity to speak to the public. Do I have any comments?
I would like to make a comment. First, thank you, everybody. These are our favorite board meetings when we get to actually hear from people. And I will also second the public service announcement. Use a Sharpie and make it thick. We gotta read the signs, okay? So anybody who's watching this board meeting, playing the summer games, trying to get the code, make sure your lawn sign is readable. Even if you're walking by from across the street, I got middle-aged eyes, so just say that.
Incredible. Seeing none, we will move into committee reports, starting with me and the executive committee. The agenda for our executive committee was really anchored in the items that we will discuss later on in this meeting. And so we can then move on to budget and finance report with Lisa.
The Budget and Finance Committee did not meet.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lisa. Now moving over to the facilities committee with Scott.
Yeah, we met early in the month. We talked about prepping the site for the expanded parking lot at the Elf out on Parkland Plaza, and we talked about the bids that came in for the generator, which we'll be talking about on the agenda tonight for the Westgate branch.
Wonderful. Thank you, Scott. Now we will transition to the library report with Eli.
Okay, thank you very much. If you can put my slides up on the screen there, guys. So here's our monthly report for July of 2026. Of course, we start off with the code for tonight's event. If you're watching from home, that code is room and board. It's worth 100 points, and you can enter that online, and that will get you your points as well as the above board badge. So here's our stat of the month. As of this moment, there are over 5,000 player-created codes in the summer game, which means if 90% of them are legible, that's still 500 unlegible codes. So there are a lot of them out there. There are over 4,500 lawn codes and about 500 codes at the branches. So this is just huge increase over the past couple of years. A player reminded us that in Summer Game 2025, there were about 600. So this is just absolutely bonkers growth, and it's terrific for see all this participation. And thank you, everyone, for participating in that part of the game. So what's that actually look like? All right, so here's a little visualization. Here's our AADL locations on the map. Here's the business codes. Now, this is not all of the business codes. These are the business codes that have used our business code program at aadl.org/business codes. There are also business codes that have just made a code themselves, just like you would for your lawn. Here are codes less than 3 days old as of today. Here's codes less than 7 days old as of today. Here's codes less than 2 weeks old as of today. Here's codes less than 3 weeks old as of today. And here's codes more than 3 weeks old. Now remember, these are just the codes that show up on the map. So I'm going to very briefly show you what all the codes look like, just so you can see how many codes there are that don't show up on the map. And do not attempt to find these codes based on this brief moment I'm going to show you, because they are not findable based on this information, so please don't try. But there they are. Look at that. That's amazing. Okay. There's also some far-flung codes this year. There's a code in Wyoming. There's a code in Madison, Wisconsin. There's a couple up north. There is a code in South Africa. And these are all real codes that are actually out there somewhere. And it's given us some ideas about ways that we might be able to make people place codes or have codes or take pictures of their codes while they're on their travels that we might consider for next year. But it's certainly something very big when we're starting to see codes thousands of miles away. Certainly not something we designed the game around, but most of the game is not something we designed the game around. So thank you again for everyone for participating in Home Codes. It's so terrific to see them all out there, and so many great ones. We'll see another one in just a few minutes. So upcoming events, July 29th, we have a Summer Game Mixer down in the Secret Lab, another Summer Game Mixer on August 10th. Those events usually have 5 codes scattered around, so it's a good bang for your buck, so to speak, especially since you don't have to pay to attend. Then on August 21st at Yost Ice Arena, we'll have the Summer Game Skate. That's free admission and free skate rental, and you can try to catch me if you're lucky. And then on August 30th, the Game Over Gala right here at the Downtown Library, featuring a points auction and also featuring a live band. The Big Band Theory will be playing. So we'll have a live band, a live auctioneer, cookies, puzzle across the whole building. Good time had for all on the closing moments of Summer Game 2026, just a little over a month away. Here's some more upcoming events. August 2nd, that is this weekend, we've got the 21st annual Lego contest. Come enter your best Lego project or come check out the Lego projects and grab some Summer Game codes while you're at it. And that will be coming up at the Sheraton on the south side of town on August 2nd. August 15th is Anime Arbor. It's our second year for this show, and that's a one-day celebration of all things anime and manga. Festivities include a cosplay contest, artist alley, crafts, special guests, and more. So we hope you'll join us here at the Downtown Library on August 15th for Anime Arbor. Here's some past events happened over the past couple weeks. We had Classic Arcade Week from July 5th through 9th out at the ALF. We had over 1,300 people come and play a selection of 20 classic video game cabinets. You can see some of them there. It's a really great intergenerational event. Lots of opportunity to see games from the 1900s, as we say. And it was very cool to see all those there. That'll definitely be an event that was back because that was very popular and people had a great time. Also, the Summer Game Spectacular on July 11th. We had circus performers, lawn games, bubbles, summer game codes, and they all abounded. It's a much anticipated annual event. Over 2,300 players have earned the badge for that event. So that is a huge turnout for that. We had great weather this year. So thank you to everyone for attending and for all of our volunteers who helped make that event possible. Yet just yesterday, we had Sean Forbes, Deaf and Loud, at July 26th. We had over 170 people turn out for this event. It was a terrific show. This is definitely a very high density of ASL signers in the building. And you can see this is ASL applause. So you can see that's what they're all doing there in the picture. So it's a really terrific turnout, great show for the community, and a wonderful performance. Thanks to everyone for helping make that happen here as well. Here's some new releases. AADL's Anishinaabe Moin signage project launched just before the start of game. There's 11 signs scattered around all 5 libraries, introducing people who might be unfamiliar with Anishinaabe Moin to familiar words and phrases that they might know. Each one of these signs has QR codes that take people to pronunciations in the 3 languages that the Anishinaabe use. That's Ojibwe Moin, Odawa Moin, and Batawaname Moin. And so those were the 3 main languages of the Anishinaabe. And you can find out more about this whole project at aadl.org/signs, as well as hearing each one of those words pronounced by a native speaker of those languages. So thanks to all of the consultants we worked with who helped make this happen, and thanks to our staff that helped bring this to the community. And that's not a summer game thing. Those are here to stay as part of our commitment to celebrating Anishinaabe authors, creators, artists, and sculptors. We also have a project underway for plaques to honor our land acknowledgement. We've hired a number of different artists, and we should have a dedication for that later this fall. More to come as that project comes together. So in the community, some of you may have heard of the giant code that exists on the West Side neighborhood. We're going to need a bigger code. The summer game grows year after year, and now so do the lawn signs. That thing is about 6 feet tall. It blew over in the storm and was brought back to life. And especially, I just noticed today, there is now some Akako Jishin's fan art standing right next to it. It's super cute. So we're delighted to see that, and very wonderful addition to the neighborhood. And big or small, SG is fun for all. Thank you to the patron who shared this adorable picture of their kiddo practicing their writing with summer game lawn signs while out on a walk. You know, when we started all of the codes, we didn't really appreciate how much reading and writing it was going to be driving little kids to do. And a lot of times we see it happening with very new readers and writers, practicing one at a time, forming their letters. And for them to do that outside of the school year, without an assignment, without a grade, it's just magic. They're learning that these skills are important skills for them to have to do the things that they want to do in their life. It's self-directed as opposed to being just more homework. So it's really great to see moments like this happening all throughout the community.
Can I add a comment?
Please.
So I've lived in Ann Arbor 14 years now. I've been so impressed this summer with how much creativity people have been putting into the sign game. Like here, I've seen a lot of people adding their own personal sort of flair to their signs, whether that's like hot gluing rhinestones on them or affixing pictures of their cat or putting them on jewelry or on their bicycles. So, great job, everybody, this summer.
And I'm also aware of at least 3 tiny signs that are like 2 inches around. So it's at both ends of the spectrum there. So it's been great to see everyone. It's some real interesting trends in the lawn codes. Of course, pets are always a hit. But this year we have a lot of pet memorials. There are a lot of pet memorials, like over 50 pet memorials.
Wow.
And so it's wonderful to see people using the library in that way. So lots of great codes out there. And of course, lots of Nix-based codes from the beginning of the season as well. All right, so here's another amazing story in the community, another summer game wedding proposal. This is a message from Bella and Anthony. We played the summer game each year and has become one of our favorite summer activities. We both love puzzles and are obviously a bit nerdy. To celebrate this and our love of the library, Anthony came up with a scheme to propose using summer game codes. He had 7 custom lawn code signs in the yard, leading to a secluded garden where he proposed. And given our upcoming move and long and loving relationship to date, we decided to have a marriage ceremony with our family in our backyard. We decorated the yard with lawn signs, and our officiant, Anthony's mom, sprinkled some Lord of the Rings references into the ceremony script. Again, we thank you for the kindness, and we're so glad that AADL is forever part of our story. Congratulations to Anthony and Bella. And just like as a public servant, we cannot get enough of stories like this. So please keep them coming. We love to hear them. Here's our staff spotlight for this month. This is Mara Baker. She's a part-time book pro, 2 years at AADL, and she says, I came to AADL from the museum world with 8 years of experience in museum education, planetarium operation, and program design for craft days. I currently work as a book processor for the Westgate branch, and I feel very honored to work for such a community-focused organization. Outside of work, you can find me sketching characters for stories and playing with my favorite dog. His name is Rune. Nice to meet you. Thank you, Mara, and thank you, Rune. Here's our mention of the month from Momo Kajiwara, who is also a beloved presenter for Dancing Babies and Japanese Storytime. And she took Akakoji Shins to Tokyo. And here's a wonderful photo of Akakoji Shins right in the middle of it all in Tokyo. Perhaps someday the real Akakoji Shins will receive an invitation to travel to Tokyo. I have no idea how we would manage that logistically, but we'll deal with that problem if we come to it. So thank you, Momo, for sharing that with us. Here's our compliment of the month. A patron who recently tried shelf service gave their compliments to the person or people who fulfilled it. Their words were, "They know my heart." So we love to hear that. Shelf service, always a delight. Staff love doing them as well. And here's our complaint of the month. Hi, library team. This comment is about the Westgate branch of AADL. I'm a huge fan of Westgate and visit it regularly. While I really appreciate the back parking lot, as a pedestrian, I've experienced unsafe encounters with vehicles attempting to do a quick book drop-off. Cars will occasionally pull up directly to the drop box in an attempt to expedite the process. I would really appreciate something like a crosswalk or other safety measures like poles or traffic separation between the pedestrians and car drop-off to help mitigate the safety issues. Thank you so much for reading this and taking it into consideration. And as part of the project, we'll be placing a generator out there. There will be some restriping that needs to be done. So, of course, we don't own the parking lot. We are a tenant out at the mall. But it's something that we'll be talking with the ownership of and seeing if we can put some new paint down. There are bollards that protect the actual space up by the drop box, but it is essentially a crosswalk, and it's not really marked as such. So it's something that we'll be working on. So thank you very much for this suggestion. And that is my report for this month. Any questions?
I had a question about the points auction.
Sure.
If multiple members of a family are there with multiple accounts, can they pool their points balance?
Yes. You can pool your points in advance, or you can make a purchase, and then we will square it up for you among your multiple accounts.
Fantastic. Asking for a friend.
Sure. Now, I will caution, you can go into points debt. So if you don't do your math properly and you bid up something and we charge you 1.2 million points for whatever it is, you can start next year with a 200,000 point deficit. So make sure to check your math carefully and don't bid beyond your means. Margin call is coming.
Where's that giant sign?
It is on Hiscock Street. Any other comments or questions?
Maybe I'll also add, we've had several discussions tonight about sign legibility. I'll also put one out there for case sensitivity. There's at least one code where I think it related to the song Eye of the Tiger, and I read it as Lon the Tiger and could not figure out why. But, eyes versus lowercase l's, I don't know. Okay.
I will note that summer game codes are not case sensitive. We always write them uppercase as a convention, but they are not actually case sensitive, and any punctuation or spaces are ignored. So you can use punctuation in your code. It's just our system will ignore it completely.
Okay, while we're talking about this.
Yes, please.
I noticed that sometime in the last couple of years, you've now set it up so that when you're entering a code, autocorrect is suppressed, like on a phone, which is amazing. And I would love to have that same feature in text rectifier. The number of times I have seen my phone autocorrect just as I've hit enter, and then I've entered something incorrectly. I feel tremendous
Well, that is
guilt
an
every
excellent
time.
note. Yeah, we will pass that along.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Seeing no more comments, we will now move into old business with Eli.
All right, I just want to mention first, there is no financial report this month. We're still in the process of closing the books for the previous fiscal year. And if we vote to cancel the August meeting, as often we do, the September meeting will involve June, July, and August financials. So that said, our first item here is update on the redevelopment of the downtown library. Where we're at this moment is negotiating the details of the easement, development, and construction agreement with the city. And at this point, we are waiting to see a draft from them. And we understand that they have one that they are in the process of considering. We hope to see that next few weeks. That whole process of due diligence and approval of the EDCA, which does not come before our board, does not come before city council. You already approved for the city administrator and I to finalize that agreement. That will happen, and then we'll have a closing date. Once we are closing on the property, the air rights. So that all remains to come. Hopefully that will happen early this fall. And that's the report on that.
Amazing, thank you, Eli. And we will keep you for the acquisition of the Ann Arbor Observer update.
Yep, that project continues. It has not happened yet. The transaction has not happened yet. We continue to discuss it. I had a conversation with the owners just this morning, and we are working on a revised set of terms that we will negotiate together, and then that will come before the board to go in your packet, just as the previous term sheet did. And then we will see where we're at and move forward with the transaction once we reach agreement. So that process continues.
Thank you so much, Eli. Now moving on to new business, we will consider a resolution to award purchase of standby generator for Westgate Branch. The board resolves, and I will read the resolution as follows. The board resolves to award the purchase of a standby generator for the Westgate Branch Library to Duggan Construction for $157,940. 2, that the expenditure be authorized from the capital fund. 3, that all resolutions and parts of resolutions that conflict with the provisions of this resolution are rescinded. Now, before discussion, I will call for a motion to approve the resolution.
So moved. Second.
Now we will discuss.
So we went out to public bid. We did solicit the 8 the responses we got, or the 4 responses out of the 8 people we solicited. Clearly Dugan's the far lower price, and he does a lot of work for us, so I'd recommend them. It went through the vetting process with O'Neill Construction. They came back and of course recommended Dugan as well. So this is just for the pre-purchase of the generator. This is not to award the work itself. That'll go out. Hopefully we can get something in front of you in September for that work, and it may or may not be the same person. This is just the purchase of the generator.
At one time, we were expecting a very long wait for the generator. Is that still true?
They're saying late November.
Oh,
that's not bad.
So we're still within, I guess it's like, it's eased up a little bit, but this is, we've been asking for several months of, like, let's commit to this part, let's commit to this part. So we have done that. This is just us allowing Dugan to purchase it. So
Great.
yes, we're here in mid to late November for receiving it. If we can award the work before then, it could be ready and in place. And DT's finalized what they need to do for the gas service, so I think we're in a pretty good spot.
So just to be clear, this is just the first step, but we'd be using Dugan throughout,
Maybe not.
or maybe not?
Yeah, when the
Okay.
work goes to bid, if, say, he is not low bid, or O'Neill feels like the vetting process,
Okay.
if there's another company that can do it faster, or whatever that might be, workload, it could be someone else.
Okay.
We usually take, they'll make a recommendation, and then, we have this discussion, and we could always choose any of these. But obviously with Dugan being low bid, in the relationship, this one feels right. Huron Valley Electric, they did the first generator project, so I could see them being very competitive when it comes to the work.
Okay. Can I ask, are any of these folks in any of the unions?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. I believe all of them. I know
Oh,
Dugan
good.
is,
Love to see
Huron
it.
Valley is, AF Smith is. I don't know a lot about PM Technologies, but I would assume they are.
No, I just wanted, yeah.
Yes, they are.
Thank you.
I'm really glad to see this moving forward. The need for this is something we've talked about for a long time. The November date, is in line with what I was expecting or what we've heard in prior discussion. And no, I think we've heard repeatedly from the community that being able to provide power during power outages or cooling or warming services is really important. So I think I'm glad we're investing in this.
Yeah, I wish it was sooner. There was a lot of work on the infrastructure side to make sure we can get high-pressure gas to it and then get everyone on the same page, which has finally happened, so.
Great.
DT's been super helpful the last month.
Awesome.
Amazing. Any further discussion?
Just thanks for all your work on this line. I know it's been a complicated process. So, yeah.
There's just lag time, really, getting everyone together is not hard, but then you wait weeks for answers, so.
Yep.
Thank you, Len.
Okay, thank you.
Seeing no further discussion, we will now move into a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 All those opposed? It passes. We will now move to vote to cancel the August 24th, 2026 regular board meeting. Do I have a motion to cancel the August board meeting?
So moved. Second?
All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes. Yes.
All those opposed? The August board meeting is now canceled. Jodine, are there any public comments?
Yes. Dave?
Hello. I haven't been here in a few months, but good to see you again. Two comments. One initially just spurred from a few minutes ago, and one just from right now. I'm a little sad to hear the board meeting in August is canceled because it seems like there's often a pretty good turnout during the summer for the summer game. So that might disappoint some people. So a little sorry to hear that. But on a more positive note, my first ever comment to the board was about implementing a public telephone in the library. And just the discussion here about the generator and being a public service to people during power outages, it got me thinking, yeah, there actually is a public telephone in the library now. So I'm not sure when that happened, obviously sometime between my comment and now. But it was a great thing to think about, that the library is providing these public services, and hopefully listening to the comments that I make sometimes too. I don't think it was actually me that prompted that, but yeah, so thank you for that. I also am just pleased to see how crazy that map is that Eli showed with all of the summer game codes. So I think I don't remember exactly what year it was, but I think I remember the first year where summer game lawn codes were a thing, and I sadly didn't have the authority to put a sign on my lawn, but I really wanted to. And now it's just cool to see that there are non-lawn signs. Like I saw somebody riding a bike with their code on their bike, and I don't know, just seeing the evolution of that's pretty cool. So for those reasons and more, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further public comment? Okay, we will now call to adjourn. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 All those opposed? We are now adjourned.